Okay, I think I'm live. So let's see. Let's unpack ditching disappointments. I'm trying something new. I prepared a little PowerPoint presentation here. So bear with me while I try to figure out what I'm doing. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Let's get started. So today we're going to talk about ditching disappointments, and hopefully I will figure out what I'm doing. All right, there we go. Thank you for your patience. So we'll get started. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. So um, any speaking class, they'll tell them what you're going to tell them, tell them what you told them. So here's the part where I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you. So we're going to talk about what is disappointment and 3 ways to ditch it. Ditch it with a new attitude, ditch it with a new aim, or ditch it with a new approach. So what is disappointment? I like this quote. It says, disappointment is a sort of bankruptcy, the bankruptcy of a soul that expends too much in hope and expectation. I like to look up the word origin for words. I love words and trying to figure out where did they come from. So one of the word origin sites that I looked at, it said that disappointment is defeat or failure of hope or expectation. That says a lot to me. Then it starts with dis, which usually means the opposite of or negation of something. But disappointment is directly linked to our expectations. When our expectations and the outcome do not match, um, that's when disappointment typically sets in. So we're not going to talk about the everyday disappointments that we encounter, that we get over, and we keep moving. We're going to talk about that disappointment that and how to ditch it, the ones that leave us with an unwillingness to accept the reality that we didn't get what we expected. And it's triggered unwanted negative emotions such as feelings of anger, sadness, hopelessness, and etc. So, yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. So that disappointment is usually we had an expectation something was going to happen, and it didn't happen like we wanted it to. And the more we have, in my opinion, invested, this thing is going to be it. This is my ticket. It's going to make me happy. The heavier the emotion of disappointment that comes in when it doesn't happen. So a little bit, we need to talk a little bit there too. So we'll unpack that as we go along. But just know that our attitude, our attitude is one way we can ditch disappointment. Uh, we have to accept it and adjust our emotions accordingly. Dale Carnegie says it isn't what you have or who you are or where you are or what you're doing that makes you happy or unhappy. It is what you think about it. So once again, I have found disappointment sets in when I have anchored my happiness or tied my happiness some kind of way to this expected outcome, whatever it may be. Whether it be, I think a certain relationship status is going to make me happy, a certain job is going to make me happy, when I reach a certain weight is going to make me happy, whatever that goal may be or that intended outcome. When we anchor it to our happiness, that's when disappointment sets in. And at the end of the day, I remember reading this or hearing this somewhere. It was like, if you're not happy on your way, I think it was Abraham Hicks, if you're not happy on your way to it, you're not going to be happy when you get there. And that was a hard pill for me to swallow when I first heard it, but I have found that it is true. If I'm not happy, if I cannot make myself feel happy, choose to be happy in whatever circumstance that I'm currently in other words, maybe I can't make myself happy. So let's go to the next slide. Where this chart is an extract from a book, Asking is Given by Abraham Hicks. I've referred to this chart many, many years. I first learned about Abraham Hicks late 2013, and that's about the time I discovered this emotional guidance scale. My favorite book by her is The Astonishing Power of Emotions. It was a huge eye-opener for me because prior to expanding my knowledge in this area, I was a victim of my self-imposed emotions, failing to realize I had the power to choose how I wanted to feel simply by refocusing the attention of my thoughts. I don't know. Back then, it was like an emotion jumped on me, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's how this is. It was like my emotions were my reality. I like what Tony Robbins says, your emotions are their actions, or their, not actions, but they're signals. They're signals that we need to either change how we look at something, or he called it perspective, or our procedure. And I like the way he unpacks that too, but there's definitely a connection between the thoughts that we're entertaining and the feelings as a result. That was a hard pill for me to swallow, that, hey, I can't blame how I feel on anybody else because I can choose my thoughts, therefore I can choose my feelings. And I may not be happy about it, but I definitely can find some positive aspect of it to focus on. So I'll say it that way. Definitely can find some positive aspect to focus on it. Even if I don't like it, that's okay. But I can move up this emotional scale by focusing on a positive aspect of it. And it was an eye opener for me again that I had the power to choose how I wanted to feel. Definitely. And additionally, I learned more about how our emotions are really how we emit our frequency and determines if we are in the manifestation zone or not. And, you know, we see these quotes all the time, self-care is how you take your power back, and people like it. And I don't think they really understand how much is packed in that one statement, but it really is true. And what I found is no matter, like if I drop down to this feeling bad part of this scale, and it definitely is resistance. If I fall down in here some kind of way, I'm bored, pessimistic, anger, jealous, insecure, whatever. When I refocus my attention on myself, my self-care, what can I do to make myself feel good? Do I need to take a nice bubble bath? Do I need to cook myself a nice meal, take a nice walk, take myself on vacation, journal, whatever? What can I do so I can start moving up this scale? Now, if I'm down here in fear, grief, depression, despair, powerlessness, I'm sad, more than likely I can't jump up to contentment. I'm going to have to move back up some kind of way. So if I'm angry, I might be able to move into some type of action over if I'm feeling fear, grief, depression, or despair. And here's disappointment right here. It's like number 12 on the scale. There's that feeling disappointment, but if we let it start translating itself into doubt, worry, blaming other people. So down here, blaming. It's your fault, the reason why I don't have what I want. It's your fault that every day I come to work, I'm frustrated. It's your fault I didn't get that promotion. Whatever it is, if I start blaming, I'll drop down the scale. If I choose discouragement because I felt disappointed, I'm even further down. If I get angry, if I choose anger, I move further down. So if I'm disappointed, how can I start to move up? This scale is what we need to look at. Even frustration is a little bit better than disappointment. But anyway, you get the picture. I'm not going to spend too much time there. But just know you may not get there overnight, and looking at the positive aspects, I might start to feel a little overwhelmed, like maybe I'll never be able to achieve what I want to achieve. Might get impatient, like when is it going to happen for me? Might get pessimistic. Good things don't ever happen for me. I mean, I'm just saying whatever. But I find that if I do a gratitude list or a positive aspect list of whatever is causing me to feel disappointed, I can at least get to contentment. Had to do this today, as a matter of fact, in relation to my job. But anyway, yeah, I think I beat that dead horse. I'm going to move on. Aim. Another way that we can defeat it is aim. The secret of success is constancy of purpose. We can take one thing at a time and give a week's attention to that one thing. Action, action, action. Action, action, action is one way to get out of our heads, brooding, and dwelling on weaknesses and all this other stuff when something doesn't go our way. Sometimes you got to give it a rest, right? So maybe you've been trying to, I don't know, lose weight. And I tell you, that elusive goal of losing weight, no matter what I do, I can't lose weight. I can't stop eating sugar. I won't go exercise. Woe is me. Okay. Disappointed. Another year is about to go by and I'm still obese. I'm still in this obese range. I can do one or two things. If I can't move up that emotional scale in regards to that topic, then I need to shift my attention probably to something else. I got financial part of my life I can concentrate on, vocational part of my life I can concentrate on. I can concentrate on charity. That can move you up the emotional scale, helping somebody else. And it may not necessarily mean like volunteering with an organization. It may mean helping somebody else reach their goals. Either way, I'm just saying it may be a signal that we need to change our aim to something else for at least a week and give our attention to that one thing for that week. And we may be surprised what happened when we do that. And that also may mean we need to decompose it into smaller pieces. Maybe that way that we came out the gate trying to make something happen was just too big to begin with. It was unrealistic. So maybe we need to decompose it into smaller pieces. But again, we can shift our attention. You'll be surprised how shifting your attention helps to rebuild strength and the confidence that's needed to go back and tackle that thing that we've been wrestling with for a while, for lack of better words. But look for that low-lying fruit. Where can I get a win? That's what I wanted to say here about taking one thing at a time and giving it your attention for 1 week. And what that does is it releases the resistance and allows other things to unfold by ordinary chance, if you will. So, and this is kind of where that self-power, this is kind of where that self-care is how you take your power back. That's kind of in here, right? So, like you just take 1 week, I'm going to go all out loving on myself. You'll be surprised what that do to help you bounce back from a disappointment. Approach. Let the improvement of yourself keep you so busy that you have no time to feel disappointed. So again, going back to this action, action, action. Each failure that we experience, it puts us that much closer to success. And one thing I want to say here is to avoid making statements. I noticed that a lot with people that I've worked with, some of the clients I've worked with in the past. I'm going to call them clients. It was my volunteer work. But one of the things that I noticed is they make a lot of statements about why they are where they are. Lots of statements about why they are where they are. Like I said, one person reached out to me on LinkedIn saying the job market is hard. Wow, okay, so if you put that out there, guess what you're going to get? A hard job market. I had somebody else tell me that it's no good men out here. All right, put that out there. Guess what you're going to get? A bunch of no good men. So avoid making statements because it's something about the subconscious mind and statements or affirmations. And also, there is such a thing as self hypnosis. Keep saying something to yourself enough, and you will start to believe it. So, if you are going to put yourself on a record, a broken record, make it be about something that you want, not something that keeps repeating your experience that is unwanted, right? So, avoid making statements and ask questions instead. So once again, the person who said to me, it's a tough job market, instead of focusing on that, they can focus on a question. How can jobs come to me? How can recruiters find me easily and effortlessly? Again, attracting. Or someone who's struggling with sales, instead of getting into this woe is me, nobody is buying right now, the economy is tight. Instead of saying that, how can I easily attract customers to me who have XYZ disposable income? Just ask questions. How can I increase my sales? I remember one time I was with Party Light and it was interesting. My leader at the time, Terry, she was trying to help me and coach me. I had some values that conflicted with recruiting other people that was in my way. But I wanted this trip. I wanted this trip. I love to travel. I wanted this trip so bad. But I had this value that was in the way. And so I actually had to change not only my approach, but my attitude. Because as long as that my attitude or my perception was this violated my value, then I wasn't going to recruit anybody. So I did. I changed it. And the other thing I did was I read this book called The Aladdin's Factor. I think that's right. No, Aladdin's. I think it's Aladdin Factor. It's Aladdin something. I can't remember the name of it. But I recall in the book, the guy is talking about a little girl. She's trying to raise money because she wants to go overseas on a trip that her school is sponsoring. So she put an affirmation up on the top of her ceiling that she was easily and effortlessly receiving the money that she needed to go on her trip. So I did something similar because it was based on points. And I worked with my leader. She laid out a plan, and I just took action. No matter how many no's I got, I knew it was moving me closer to a yes. And sure enough, I did. And I only earned that trip. I earned several more trips. Well, a few more, about 2 more trips. I think I had about three free trips on Party Light. But I'm saying that to say it's something in our wiring that's keeping us from the thing that we didn't get that we're disappointed about. So whatever we were doing to try to get it, whatever it is, whatever we were trying to manifest or whatever outcome we wanted, however we went about it, whatever our approach was, it didn't work. So we need to take a look at it and figure out what do we need to tweak so that we can make it work. So action, action, action. Frank Bedger says, whenever a salesman gets out of the habit of seeing enough prospects, he loses his sense of indifference. Take so many new approaches until you cultivate a little of the don't care habit. In other words, you don't worry about what people think. And for anybody listening and you're disappointed with something that's sales related or building your business related, action, action, action. Or even if you're looking for a job, action, action, action. The more you do it, the less, or how I say, the more immune you become to quote unquote rejection. So just keep going, keep taking action, and adjusting as you need to as you go along. So I just want to quickly share. We've heard about we've heard about the journey to success from a lot of people, and I just wanted to highlight Tyler Perry here, Einstein, Walt Disney, how when they first started out, there were disappointments there, or quote, some people might call them failures, but I like what Tyler Perry said in his own words. Each and every time the show didn't work, he learned something new. Then he went on to say, I learned what not to do and what I could do better. He says that you have to understand that what you may perceive to be a failure may very well be an opportunity to learn, grow, get better, and prepare for the next level. So I just want to say, try a new approach. Don't just throw the baby out with the bathwater and give up on the thing that you want. Roll up your sleeves and try a new approach. And here's a few tips on how to do that. Document the lessons learned. What did you learn? What did you notice? What did you observe? For me, when I was trying to recruit people, that's when I observed that it conflicted with my value, because I felt like it was some type of pyramid scheme when I was doing that. But one of the ways my leader at that time helped me change that in my mind was that I looked at it as an opportunity to help other people. Just like it helped me, gave me the income that I needed at that particular point in time because I wanted to be at home with my son. But at any rate, it gave me what I needed at that time. So the person who offered me the opportunity, it helped me for what I needed in my life at that time. So likewise, I had to look at it like that I was helping somebody else, giving them an opportunity to earn income, extra income, whatever you want to call it. So document the lessons learned. I'm in IT, and that's one of the things we do at the end of each project. We document the lessons learned, what went well, what did we like, what did we not like, and what we could do better. The next thing, what areas have presented themselves for improvement? One of the ones for me was my scripting. I had to rework how to communicate to someone else, to take the focus off of me because I needed them, because I wanted my trip, but to take the focus off of me and put myself in their shoes and how it could benefit them so that it's a win-win. They get what they want, I get what I want. Then what needs to change? Your attitude, your aim, or your approach. We talked about attitude, we talked about aim, and we talked about approach. Identify the action tasks needed to do this, and then determine what resources, if any, are needed. Especially like, let's say you're looking for a job. You may need some more resources on interviewing skills, how to write a better resume, how to leverage LinkedIn, et cetera, et cetera. But most importantly, this is the biggest one right here. Try again. The only way that you fail is when you quit trying. So turn those disappointments or setbacks into comebacks. I think that's how they say it. And I'm going to close with a quote from Dale Carnegie. Most of the important things in the world have been accomplished by people who have kept on trying when there seemed to be no hope at all. So I just want to say, if it's to be, it's up to us. It's up to each and every one of us. We can make it happen as long as we stay the course and be willing and have the courage to dust ourselves up and to get back out there and keep trying. So hopefully this helped in some small way. If so, leave a comment, like, and I think I'm going to share a printable for the aim part, like some little goal setting. So look for that sometime between now and Sunday. All right, till next time, hope this gave you hope and handles on how to ditch disappointments. Thank you.